Hey everybody, as you jump in, let me know where you're from. Also, if you're not the shy type, let me know what kind of work you do and how old you are. And I'm excited to connect with you all today. We've reached a good point in this channel. A lot of you have been following it for a while. First and foremost, housekeeping items, please. Let's keep this live stream clean. Refrain from using, of course, bad language, which I'm not going to specify because YouTube will just red flag whatever I say. And what is up, Founds Fox? Good to see you up in here. And the way we'll structure the giveaway is such that I will maybe spontaneously pop in a question, you answer it properly, and then that whoever gets the question right quickest will be granted a prize. And I'll do it throughout the live stream because I want to force you all to watch it till the end. But we'll be here for a good hour. As you jump in, be sure to let me know where you're from. Let me know how old you are. Let me know what kind of work you do. It's always good to know that. As far as the demographic of this channel, other channels pertaining to supplements, people go on to learn about like anti-aging or maybe building muscle, losing fat. With my channel, it's like everybody seems to just want to make money, very quickly, and believes there is a magic formula out there. And what's up, Ali? What is up, Founds Fox? Let me, guys, let me know once you jump in where you're coming from. We're doing this 8:00 p.m. Eastern time, so I know we got a lot of South Asian viewers on the channel. It's probably early in the morning. I think like 5:30 for them. You're from Canada. Cool. Good stuff. Waiting for your ADHD test results. It's been 3 weeks. I'm going to have to call them. I don't even know how they would diagnose something like ADHD. Like back in the day, I was like misdiagnosed just because I told my doctor that I was having trouble reading and I had to keep on like regressing back to the beginning of the paragraph. But what's up, guys? Let's get some questions over here. Otherwise, I'll let you know what's going on as far as with me. There you go. We got a question. Good stuff. Maybe not a question, but a comment. Love the comments. South Carolina, 8:04 p.m. That's right. You have your own lab-grown diamond company. Cool. A lot of entrepreneurs. Good stuff. Victor here from TO. That stands for Toronto, the 416 area code. That's where I am born and raised. Toronto. I'm as Torontonian as they get. Tell us about TRT and effects on cognition. TRT standing for testosterone replacement therapy. TRT, oh my goodness. It is, let's put it this way. It's just like you would expect it to be. As far as after one dosage, what you can expect is being more aggressive, being more ambitious, sleeping better, building more muscle, losing fat, looking more vascular. So all those things are good. Yet at the same time, it can be a little bit distractible. I think people don't mention some of the benefits of having kind of like medium to lower levels of testosterone. I mean, guys, if you have lower libido levels, you won't be too distracted with females and getting attention that way. It'll make you study harder. It'll allow you to be introverted. So what the effects were like on cognition, I didn't notice anything as far as like my problem-solving abilities being better. More so, it was as such increased energy, definitely increased ambition. And I could tell it was working instantly. I'm talking from the moment you take your first dose, you can feel it. You feel sharper. You feel energetic. You have lesser of a need for caffeine, which of course is always cool. 21-year-old Punjab studying for MCAT. Thoughts on alpha GPC versus Cognizin? Good. Yeah, that's a great question. So for those of you who are unfamiliar with these two nootropics, they are choline that I talk about throughout my channel. Choline being a nutrient that's pretty much only found in egg yolks. Yet if you take it in supplemental form, not only are you getting it, but it more efficiently crosses the blood-brain barrier. It's good for absorption, and you can efficiently use it, kind of like fuel. So think about it like recharging your batteries as you're going about your day. What happens is you need to some extent, like replenish your choline stores, kind of like refilling your gas tank. That's the way I see alpha GPC and Cognizin. So I personally like alpha GPC more. I've noticed throughout just reviewing comments on this channel, very often people feel bad side effects when they take alpha GPC. Some of the more common ones like are symptoms of depression, brain fog. I've made a specific video on this. So it would look like alpha GPC being more effective without question, yet having side effects for some individuals, like 20% of them, whereas Cognizin seems like a more safer alternative. The price is very similar. And something also neat is that you'll see alpha GPC in a lot of pre-workout blends. Pre-workout products, they're designed to not only help you have a good workout, but also help you with focus, have that mental clarity, stay on track with whatever your workout structure is, your workout routine is. So alpha GPC has become a more common ingredient, something like 300 to 500 milligrams. I absolutely love this stuff. If I don't take my alpha GPC in the middle of the day or towards the end of the day, it's very difficult to be productive later on at night. Hey, Mike, have you been experimenting with anything new lately? I did reattempt using Huperzine A as well. I've tried some products around just joint health, because I was always praising glucosamine, but I've had some bad pain, so I've been trying some other nootropics pertaining to that, like glucosamine blends. I haven't come across anything too great. You're all welcome to let me know what I think about some of the more like newer nootropics out there, because if we look at Nootropics Depot, for example, they rolled out a lot of products over the past year, but probably the only one that I have stuck with would be Sustanche. Sustanche, if you're not familiar with it, it's also used to build your testosterone levels up. I like the fact that you can take it fasted. I'm somebody who practices intermittent fasting, or like a modified version of intermittent fasting. I haven't eaten today yet. I took a protein shake and a pre-workout. So I like the fact that you can use Sustanche once in the morning. Seems to maybe help with libido, help with energy, help with testosterone. More so, I noticed with Sustanche, I overthink a whole lot less, or overthink. I don't overthink, you can say, and I like it that way. As far as Subroxy is concerned, I tried that. I tried Polygala, didn't like it too much. I tried some of the different blends of Rhodiola rosea. I like the one that I was originally taking, and I've more like, I wouldn't say newer nootropics, but I've gone through different dosing protocols like ashwagandha. Now I only have it once in the evening. Before I wasn't taking it at all. And I found the best uses of ashwagandha taking it either in the evening or taking smaller doses throughout the course of the day. But I'm somebody that doesn't respond well to taking ashwagandha in the morning or Rhodiola rosea in the morning. Yet you may be different. That's the beauty of nootropics and why we have this channel. It's like anecdotes. There's not as much research papers as we'd like on it. 3 top anti-aging nootropics. I'm going to say alpha lipoic acid, NAD seems to be popular, and what else? Alpha lipoic acid, NAD, and let's say resveratrol. Best herb for BDNF. Not sure about her, but Noopept seems to be a good one. Seems to be somewhat safe, and all the racetams are pretty good as well. There's some studies showing that melatonin actually can increase BDNF. That's pretty cool. For those of you who want to know what BDNF is, in layman's terms, helps you build more brain cells, you can say. That's the layman's terms. The more advanced explanation is such like, it's like fertilizer for a specific protein in your brain to build more brain cells, all that good stuff, neuroplasticity. Love it. Royal jelly and memory from your experience. No boost in my memory whatsoever with that one. Royal jelly, pretty popular nootropic, and kind of can be put in that category with mushrooms. Yet my favorite mushroom would be lion's mane. The rest of them I haven't noticed much of result from. Have you ever tried kratom? Yes. Speaking of kratom, as far as Fallon's Fox question, have you been trying anything new? I've been using kratom periodically. I've really not noticed much from it. Supposedly it can help with anti-anxiety, which is good for those modafinil days. Yet with kratom, I haven't noticed much from it. I'm pretty much just taking it because a few kratom vendors were kind enough to send me some stuff to sample. Thank you for that. Yeah, no, I've tried royal jelly. Thanks for chiming in though. And thank you all for keeping this clean. Let me know, guys, as you jump in here, where are you from? How old are you? Tell me more about yourself. I would appreciate a 1-line, 2-liner. It's good. Are you running low on the racetams? That's a great point. I'm one of the lucky people that does have a good stock of paracetam, aniracetam, and phenylparacetam. Yet I don't have pramiracetam or oxiracetam. So those two I'm missing. Yet it hasn't hurt my performance. What I have been doing is I've been being a bit more strategic with my use of Noopept. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the racetams, they are pretty much what were responsible for getting me into nootropics. They can enhance learning. They can help you with execution, help you with your mindset and energy levels, but they're very subtle. So most people don't notice the results. It's more so something you will notice if you are like taking paracetam for an extended period and then you take time off. Then you pick up like, wow, paracetam was actually working for me. My grades were better. My memory was better. So very, very subtle. Subtle is good sometimes because the subtle nootropics don't often have the really bad side effects. So those are what the racetams are. Racetams, I mean, I think I discussed more on the earlier portion of my channel, like 2018 to 2020. But now, very hard to find them for whatever reason. Maybe the laws and regulations have changed, especially when it comes to shipping in the different countries. So am I running low on the racetams? Yes, I am. Yet Noopept is a good variation of the racetams. It's said to be 100, if not 100, then 1,000 times more potent than paracetam. And Nootropics Depot still does have that in stock in 10 milligram capsules. And you can as well get it in the powder form. In the powder form, make sure you have, you're ingesting it along by, ingesting it after weighing it out, so you know how much you're taking, because it's pretty hard to eyeball that one. When it's doses like 10 milligrams, 20 milligrams, 30 milligrams, you can take a little bit under your tongue in the powder form, and you'll notice it more so. But for the sake of convenience, I've just been using the capsules and feeling pretty good. That hopefully answers Philippe's question as well, as far as how effective would you say Noopept is. But really effective. If there was one nootropic that was responsible for me building a business and a successful business with sales, it would be Noopept. Love it, love it, love it, love it. But if your goal is to be balanced and live a nice life where you have family time and then your work time and sleep right, then Noopept probably isn't the thing for you, because it's more for those obsessive compulsive people that want to be the best in whatever field they are in. Hi, Mike. Best nootropic to aid with expediting weight loss, please. Stimulants are always going to be the best when it comes to caffeine, yohimbine, ephedrine. What so is they raise your not only do they raise your metabolism by like 5 to 10%, but they really help to blunt appetite. They as well help with like blood flow to your areas with stubborn body fat, so it helps that way, especially when you pair them with L-tyrosine, use them pre-workout. Besides that, as far as the supplements that may be helpful that are not stimulants, green tea extract, love it, love it, love it, love it. It's one of my staples when it comes to being like on a fat loss phase, works very well. And it just depends on you. If somebody who if appetite is an issue for you, and maybe you need help with carbohydrate cravings, then 5-HTP could be good, because 5-HTP, it raises serotonin. As a result of raising that neurotransmitter in your brain, serotonin, you have a decreased desire for carbohydrates and you're less likely to binge eat. Cayenne pepper is good. I'll think more about this. I could have done a video on this, but I don't know. Like every time I put out something there about weight loss or fitness, people don't seem to be interested. So I'll leave that to the fit people out there. For me, clearly, if you look at me, it's not my area of expertise. Tried Boswellia for joints, supposed to lower inflammation in the joints, and taking it right now for my wrist. Good stuff. Thanks for bringing that up. I can't say that I have. Founds Fox, yeah, I love Sustanch. I find it really relaxing and anxiolytic. I also noticed less overthinking with Sustanch. It's a really nice side effect of taking Sustanch. It wasn't my intended use of it. I haven't really noticed much as far as it raising testosterone levels, but that's a real thing, helping you with your focus and all that. I have really low free testosterone, but normal total. That's a good question for your endocrinologist. That's what they're there for. They will actually ask you to do a test or several tests right in the morning, because that's the time when they want to accurately assess it, and then they can let you know. And if you're around normal, then it's fine. But you know it's a problem when it starts to hurt your mood, when you're overthinking a lot. That's a good sign that you might be too low than what you'd want. Do you think Qualia Mind or Gorilla Mind Smooth could help with dementia, perhaps with keto? Which is, man, there's like 2 or 3 questions in one right there. I mean, both of these nootropic blends are designed to help you with performance and productivity. That's what they're for. Yes, there are supplements and ingredients in there that can help people who maybe have dementia-like symptoms. But when it comes to like dementia or Alzheimer's, I mean, it's like praying. You have to do it before the event happens. So you need to have praying as part of your lifestyle. You don't just pray when something tragic happens, for instance. So that's the way you want to look at dementia. Once it happens and when something's bad, there's only so much you can do to kind of fix it. Hope that's helpful. All right, how to recover after 1 hour cardio to do it again after a few hours. I would consider, if you're actually planning to do it again in a few hours, tell me more about that. Is your goal fat loss? Because the answer would be to ingest calories, not only after your workout, but during your workout. You can get some sort of performance drink there where it has a good blend of carbohydrates, like fast acting carbohydrates, electrolytes, as well as maybe some protein and amino acids to help you with your recovery. But if you were to do that, then it would blunt fat loss, which is the problem. So it depends what your goal is here. That's what I would do. And then I would have another recovery drink afterwards. That's what they're good for. If you have not tried branched chain amino acids before, one of the things you'll notice is that after you take them post-workout, you will be less likely to be sore afterwards or feel issues with your joints. That's one of the reasons why they call like protein shakes a post-recovery or a post-workout drink, supposed to aid with recovery. Although if you're having a protein shake, there's no need to take branched chain amino acids because the protein shake will already have the amino acid profile, the essential amino acids, as well as the branched chain amino acids. What do you refer to stock day traders? Love the question. Great question. What do I refer to stock day traders? Anything can really help you be calm, rationalize, see things with a long-term sort of output. Lion's mane being one of my favorites. I would stay away from anything that would cause you to have a little bit of anxiety. So I would stay away from L-tyrosine. Me personally, I would stay away from caffeine. I don't respond that well to stimulants when it comes to performance under pressure. Like right now, I did not take any stimulants. I took all my stimulants in the morning. Yeah, I seem kind of high energy, but that's just because I have a good mindset practice that I do to help get me in state. So I would recommend that. Ashwagandha, you may like, just depending how you personally feel with ashwagandha. Some people find themselves being more productive, but more people notice they're a bit lethargic, they're a bit tired. I mean, I guess that's okay if you're behind a computer. Is chaga worth it? Worth what? It's excuse me. It falls in that category of nootropics, which maybe they're not going to help you so much as far as them being a nootropic, but what's so is it's good for your health. It doesn't really have some negative side effects. Excuse me 1 second. And Muhammad asks, how do you overcome overthinking? Address that a little bit with Sustanch, but lion's mane, don't sleep on lion's mane. Give lion's mane a shot. One of the things you'll notice with it is you are in a better mood because you're not so attached to your day-to-day outcomes. You can say you're more, you're more just attached to the process. You're attached to the actions that you're taking, and whether you win or you fail, you're able to move forward. It's really solid stuff, lion's mane. And what we're going to do right now is we're going to pause this Q&A. We'll get back to these questions. And I'm going to throw out the first question out there, and the winner, so whoever responds quickest to this with the most accuracy will be given a prize. I will let you know how to reach out to me. It'll be about $200 worth, and I'll let you even choose the gift certificate, the gift receipt of your choice. Or sorry, gift card. That's what I'm trying to say. So just hide this over here. Okay, this is where we left off as far as our last question with Travis. Okay, so question number 1. Let's go. What nootropic, and of course this is over the span of my channel, what nootropic have I actually changed my belief on? Meaning a nootropic that once upon a time I disliked and now I like, or vice versa, a nootropic that I liked and now I dislike. Let me know. Yeah, shout out H2O. Rooster, try tyrosine. What did you take before going live? I just answered that. No, not super satisfied with these answers so far, but close. All right. So L-theanine was the winner. Phenibut close second, but if you notice with Phenibut, I didn't necessarily say I loved it or I disliked it at the beginning. I said in the earlier videos of my channel, I basically said that with Phenibut, it's kind of overrated. Now, I don't necessarily say it's rated that highly. I just say there's some strategic ways to use it. But L-theanine is one which I actually do sincerely say I have not been taking it, and I've been enjoying that so far. Results are up. So only D and E, I want you to email Sophia, SOPHIA at mdougal.com. That's M like my first name, and then Dougal. You should know my last name because I think you watched enough of the video. So send out an email there. We'll get you $200 worth of gifts. And let's get back to it. Yeah, guys, L-theanine, just a little context with that. I used to think it was okay as far as with using it alongside with caffeine. What we know about caffeine, it raises anxiety, has bad side effects as far as brain fog, crashes your energy. But apparently when you use it with L-theanine, it can suppress a lot of those side effects. But I have now learned that using caffeine by itself will make you more productive because L-theanine has some really bad side effects as far as making you a bit tired, making you a little bit relaxed. Yes, it will make you centered. It will make you present, but it will do that at a cost. Like I find, for instance, I have my list of to-dos during the day. I have my most effective things that I got to get done. But when I'm ingesting L-theanine, I'm like so present. I'm not too ambitious. So it hurts you that way. Let me know what you guys think about that. I also have found that a lot of people don't respond well to L-theanine when they take it in a fasted state. It can do some strange things to your blood sugar. Watch out for that. And yeah, that's something definitely learned afterwards. So where were we with our questions? Wow, we got to catch up here. Let's get some more likes on this. I totally agree with you. Where were we? 812. How do we overcome overthink? Okay, cool. This is where we are. Good stuff. I have really low. Okay, we kind of already went through this. Let's get some more likes. Yeah, double up on that. What is the best for a presentation for word flow? Paracetam is pretty well known for this. Lion's Mane I also do like. I find it easier to like let's take this right now, for example, stage fright, being present. I'm talking to the camera as if there's one person there. Of course, I'm bringing up my energy a little bit. I have to have tone inflections because nobody wants to sound monotone. Always remember, people, in terms of communication, the tonality you use is 4 times more powerful or more effective and more important than the actual words that you're saying. The tonality is the important thing. And if there's people who want more training on this, as far as like conversational skills, asking questions, closing, I sell houses. That's what I do. If you aspire to be a real estate agent, or if you're already a real estate agent and you'd like to learn more about what working with me can do for you, then definitely reach out to me. So paracetam seems to be a popular one that way. Aniracetam may help if you're somebody with anxiety issues. A lot of people like it that way, as far as just approaching people to begin with. Have you ever taken choline sources at night for lucid dreaming or better sleep? Also, what do you recommend for good working memory or feeling sharp using alpha GPC, uridine, mono? Okay, let's first tackle this first question. Lucid dreaming is a very popular topic. I will definitely cover that in a future video. I'm not too sold on some of the advantages of why it's important and such, but it is out there. Now, I have not personally tried it. I don't see much of the use for it. On times when I've used alpha GPC before bed, it kind of did what I expected it to do. It didn't keep me up. It didn't make me tired. It didn't have any sort of side effects, and I didn't notice it helping my lucid dreaming. But a lot of people do report good results taking alpha GPC prior to going to sleep. So huperzine A, that also seems to be a popular one when it comes to lucid dreaming. What would you add to that? No, okay. And then they ask, what would you add to that? First of all, I would remove the L-tyrosine. L-tyrosine will bring your energy levels up. There's no point of taking anything like that. So as far as like, excuse me one sec, guys. And I've made a video talking about my favorite nootropics that I take before sleeping. Right now, what that looks like is it looks like Tribulus. It looks like taking Shodan, which is the most, you can say like the most potent form of ashwagandha as far as relaxation, fighting off stress. You wouldn't want to take Shodan during the day because it will make you a little bit tired, but I really like taking that before going to sleep. And then sometimes I'm using ZMA, which is zinc, magnesium, vitamin B. I'm waiting and banking on Wellbutrin. Well, I mean, you don't want to get involved with something that you're going to stick to long term. So unless you really need it, then go ahead and use it. And it will really help you with your energy and your levels of just drive, your ambition. It's good that way. Melatonin for memory and brain cell, how good is it? I would say overrated. You'll hear some, I mean, like the benefits of melatonin, they have changed so much through the years. First, it was sleep and sleep disturbances. Then there was a lot of people saying it could be good with fat loss, because it can apparently improve growth hormone and help that way with lipolysis. And now people are saying it's good for BDNF and being good for your brain. I don't really buy it. I think what's really important with melatonin is you keep the dose super low, use it strategically, just like you would use something like modafinil or you would use phenylparacetam. Let's say if you're jet lagged, let's say if you're traveling, that's a good time to use melatonin, or if you have to wake up earlier tomorrow, for example. Check out Gorilla Shroom. If you all want me to review more products by Gorilla Mind, I'm definitely not against it. I think they have a good product line. They've got some pretty affordable products, which is good. Mike, you got any advice for restlessness, emptiness, and motivation with depression? Wow, well, you got to solve that. What I tell people first with this kind of like problem, because I've also been there too. I've tried a number of antidepressants like SSRIs, and then it was really a Wellbutrin, which helped me the most, because with SSRIs, they take a while to work, unfortunately. And not only do they take a while to work, but as you're waiting for them to work, you're putting on weight, you're looking more puffy. A lot of people lose their hair. There's some really bad side effects, yet I'm not against antidepressants. I think, if you're taking them and you absolutely need to, they do work for a lot of people. So first things, I would get blood work done. Make sure that your testosterone levels are in check. Make sure as far as like all your other blood markers are good. It could be that you have low vitamin D. It could be that you have low vitamin B. Maybe it's low iron. Look at these things. That's a good place to start. And then after, look at your diet. very often people are in a bad mood. You know why? They're just simply not eating enough. They're not eating enough, or they're not eating enough fat in their diet. Fat is almost like directly responsible for mood. So you want at least 30% of your calories to be from good fat sources. Think of good healthy nuts, olive oil, egg yolks. I would stay away from some of the saturated sources like cheese and meat. Yes, they're natural good fats. They're not processed, but at the same time, they're saturated fats. They'll be hard to burn off afterwards. And of course, get in your fish oil. So look at those two things. I know it's probably not the answer you wanted with respect to nootropics. With nootropics, what you can do is you can get a good multivitamin. True Hope is an awesome multivitamin for people with depression, bipolar, any sort of mood issues like mood stability. So that one's good. It's already got choline and some other good ingredients there that will help you with mood stability. So that one's good. And then nootropics on top of that, lion's mane I really like. So you're welcome, to tell me a little bit more about this. If not here, then send me a message on Patreon or Instagram. We can talk more about this. Have you ever tried dihexa? No, I have not. Be careful with yohimbine if you have psychosis-like symptoms. Yohimbine is it's the supplement that like maybe 5 to 10% of people like, and it's because it's the one supplement that you really need thorough education on to know how to make the most of it. I would not use yohimbine really for mood at all. I would only use it when, let's say, I'm on a cutting diet and I'm trying to get from like 10% body fat down to 6% body fat. That's when you would strategically use it. I'm talking take a low dose, take it fasted, because when your insulin levels go up, yohimbine will not work at all. You need to be in a fasted state, and then you can see the benefit when it comes to yohimbine. I'm sorry, guys. It's kind of hard to satisfy everyone in this live stream. I know a lot of you want to talk nootropics. Then we have questions about mood. We have questions about having a good memory and all that stuff. It's good. Have you been taking modafinil lately? Yeah, I'll tell you a secret. I took it today. I'm just taking it. I'm taking it 2 days a week, and always kind of planning the tasks prior. And it's usually for those days which go later. And if there's anything that I have been trying, it's been kind of like the strategic use of modafinil, how to make the most of the experience, what kind of things I wouldn't do under the influence of modafinil. And I've mentioned this before, like modafinil is really about execution. It's not about learning. If you're going to an educational conference, if you're reading material and you need to retain it in your memory bank long term, I would stay away from modafinil. But like modafinil is something that I respond really well to when shooting videos, for example. And how I'm able to kind of counteract the bad side effect of anxiety is I use a little bit of phenylparacetam. Phenylparacetam, for example, it does help me with anti-anxiety. So I find like low dose phenylparacetam, 70 to 80 milligrams of that, and 100 milligrams of modafinil works for me. I'm definitely not saying you should do it, but I talked about the whole kind of stack that I use in my video. I think it's called like the NZT48 Godlike stack. Like that is my whole kind of routine as far as what this day would look like. So you'd watch that video. I address the things like vitamin B and what would change as far as your nootropic stack on those days when you are taking strong stimulants. Because stimulants are just like, they're a totally different spectrum. You need to take other nootropics to make the most of your experience when you're on stimulants. I mean, like you take 200 milligrams of caffeine, for example, it'll just overpower everything. But if it overpowers all the other nootropics, does that mean that you still take those nootropics? It depends. If you're taking something like paracetam has a buildup effect. You need to be taking it every day, so you would take it. And guys, as you can see, it gets kind of complex, so that's why you got to watch all the videos. And I appreciate you all who've been here for this whole journey of starting off with the channel. I think you all remember when I got hacked around 2,000 subscribers. It was like from the time I got my first YouTube paycheck. I mean, it wasn't even a lot of money. It got hacked, and then you all with me, we got the channel back. We saw some good growth, and it's just about providing more value for you all. So continue to let me know what kind of information you're finding helpful. This live stream today is not about me. It is about you. So pop your questions here, and then at the end, if we're running out of time, we'll go for about half an hour more. Then we'll do it in a rapid fire fashion. I may have to skip through a few questions, and if I do, it's because I maybe just don't know the answer to that, and I don't want to seem like I'm lacking knowledge. Best mushroom nootropic companies. Fresh Cap is probably would be like my go-to. It's their specialty, their specialization. They're good for that. What can help with sudden memory loss? Mohammed, tell me more about this. I want to hear more, and then we can do it. Yeah, Jason, I did. This is a perfect example. Don't have any thoughts on it and have not tried it. The day before an exam, what is the best nootropic to take? So assuming that you're cramming, and I have addressed this in a video as well. Mohammed, you're bringing on some good questions. Somebody give Mohammed a prize. No, I'm joking. He won't get a prize. He has to answer. He has to answer a question, which we'll do again in a little bit. So, I mean, if it's the day before an exam, you have a problem. You should have been studying for a couple weeks prior. But that's a time when you could use modafinil, just because, I mean, if you have so much to learn, you really don't. You don't have anything to lose if you're that behind. But as far as nootropics you would take building up to the exam, paracetam is a great one, really good for memory. Bacopa is really good. Alpha GPC, 3 really solid nootropics. But if you need something that will actually get you to work in the first place, give you a little bit of drive, then you can consider adding L-Tyrosine and adding Noopep. The way that I like taking L-Tyrosine is something like 750 milligrams, and that's how it's typically sold in the capsules. And that kind of addresses this question over here. Congrats on 50K. What are you partying with? Nothing, just more videos, hopefully. And for anyone out there who aspires to have a YouTube channel, like, just make it. Don't ignore any naysayers. Just try it. I mean, put out a camera, get a mic. You don't need to invest a lot of money in equipment. The way things started are like with the same webcam that I currently have, which is a $100 webcam. My friend told me, Michael, you know so much about this stuff. Why not make videos? I shot a few videos. I covered lion's mane. I covered paracetam. I think I covered Noopep. It's not even like they went viral. They got like 100 views in a week, but I still kept on going. I was having some fun with it. And then you start to get viewers, you start to get engagement. And at the same time, a lot of people said, or like that same person who told me to make the channel, a month later, he's like, I can't believe you actually did it. There's so many people who are already doing it on Nootropic. So just ignore everyone. And if you are to commit to something, like, see it through. For instance, me, I don't overcommit and say I'm going to do 2 videos a week in a live stream. It's very simple. Right now, I'm just doing 1 video a week. So I simply shoot the video. I'll do it on a Tuesday night, get it to my editor, and then my thumbnail person, my consultant who helps me with my title, who helps me with the description. We're doing it in a very systematic way so I can focus on my main job, which is I'm trying to build like a brokerage when it comes to selling homes. I want to sell a whole lot of homes, and this is kind of like my side hobby. So point being, I'm a very ordinary person, nothing special, but I have ambition. If you have ambition and you drive and you're willing to stick to something and commit, then I'm sure you have a gift to give the world when it comes to YouTube. Don't be shy and let your gift out, and let me know if you want help with that. I'm not like trying to charge you or sell you a course, but it's nice to see, and of course inspires me too. It creates a good feedback loop. Hope that's helpful. My goal is fat loss with cardio, and I'm burning about 800 calories per session. That's a whole lot of calories. Like, I ran today for half an hour. I burned only like 400 calories. So good stuff. Obviously, you're going to need a good recovery drink there. When it comes to fat loss, I think the mistake people are making is they're not leaving room to decrease their calories further. So if you just go on a crash diet and you have let's say a calorie deficit of 1,000 calories every single day, what happens when you plateau? Because you will probably plateau. Unless you have a body type that wants you to be lean, it's very challenging to get away with that. So when you hit a plateau, you can't decrease your calories to like 1,500 per day. That just would be unhealthy. So at that stage, you would want to take a diet break, which looks like 2 weeks at your normal, just maintenance calories, so that you can get your testosterone levels up, you can get your leptin levels up. That's a really important hormone when it comes to losing fat. Understand it. LEP, like Peter, TIN, leptin. Hope that's helpful. I tried lion's mane and felt nothing. Was it a bad brand? Was it a bad brand, do you think? Lion's mane, there's a chance. It depends what kind of work you're in, because I've noticed, like, the more stressed you are, probably from work, especially if you're an entrepreneur, you're self-employed, lion's mane will probably, you'll see the results from it pretty quickly, because it will help you with stress management. It will help you to build your capacity to tolerate more stress. You will find yourself just simply more resilient. So I don't think it was a bad brand, but my favorite is the lion's mane dual extract, the 8-to-1 from Nootropics Depot. That's some good stuff. What would you suggest for energy for a warehouse worker instead of caffeine? Instead of caffeine, if you're still open to taking stimulants, then you can consider taking theocrine, or you can consider taking dynamine. Or dynamine, I'm not sure how it's pronounced, but those 100 milligrams of it seems to be similar to taking 100 milligrams of caffeine, minus the euphoria you get from taking caffeine. So those two are good. And if it's aside from stimulants, then I would definitely take L-tyrosine, 750 milligrams to 1 gram of L-tyrosine. You'll see that in almost every pre-workout product out there. It's some good stuff. What did you take before going? Oh my gosh, I have so many questions. Shoot, we got to get through this, but we'll get through it with love and with detail. What did I take before going live? I took nootropics about 3 hours ago. I took alpha GPC, rhodiola rosea, bacopa. I took some ashwagandha, paracetam, and aniracetam. I mean, it sounds complex, but it's all kind of nicely packaged, and was able to take it. And Noopept. And I mean, I don't really think that gave me too much of a benefit, but where I really notice nootropics as I take them throughout the day is in the evening. Like, the more structured I am with my nootropics, if I take them like morning, again, 2 o'clock, 6 o'clock, the better I feel come after 8 p.m. If I miss my nootropic, like one part of the stack, then I feel tired, I feel fatigued, I shy away from work. I'll look at work, I'll look at a task, an email, a call, and say, I'm going to do that tomorrow when I'm in state. And that's the worst feeling. Like, if you want to be successful, anytime you have to make this decision, do it tomorrow or do it today. Like, do it today. Just get it done. Work on something else tomorrow. Nope, I have not. Is it really safe to take more than 30 milligrams of Noopept daily? My answer, and not only my answer, but my experience would say yes, it is safe. It won't be horrible. The way I started off with Noopept, and I've talked about this in videos, was I was taking like crazy amounts, 50 to 80 milligrams per day, because there wasn't that much information on Noopept at this time. This was back probably 2014. So now we have videos. We didn't have videos on YouTube about Noopept back then. We just heard this was a great nootropic. We didn't even have like a dosage you could follow. You could get in like the powdered form, and then you're kind of going by trial and error. Okay, cool. Skip through this. What should I improve brain cell formation? I made a video on this. I think it's nootropics to help you grow. Yeah, nootropics that will help you grow new brain cells. I think Lion's Mane, C-Max, and Noopept were the ones mentioned, but I could be wrong. It was over a year ago. How do you maximize the benefits of modafinil? Talked about that earlier. Watch that video on the godlike stack. So modafinil, phenylparacetam, vitamin B. Drink a lot of water. Better yet, have a salad, like something water rich, because very often when you eat foods that are rich with water, you can actually notice the benefits with respect to hydration more so than drinking water. Best stack for energy and motivation. Definitely try a pre-workout. If you have not tried a pre-workout, like you haven't lived yet. Like pre-workout was pretty much what got me into nootropics to begin with. Was I used a pre-workout, I noticed, okay, the pre-workout not only made me have a better workout, but afterwards I feel great, I feel focused, I feel like I wanted to study. And then I deconstructed the pre-workout, and I found like L-tyrosine, N-acetyl L-tyrosine, caffeine, and what they were responsible for doing. So love the idea of pre-workouts. Of course, they do have bad side effects with respect to artificial fillers and aren't natural in a lot of cases, but I think it's okay. I think caffeine does more good than it does harm. And speaking of caffeine, that leads to our next question with this giveaway. We're gonna do 3 questions. We'll leave one more question for later. So let's go. Okay. How much caffeine do I personally take and recommend to people to not exceed during the course of the day? And where did I'm just trying to remember the last place we asked a question. Okay, right over there. Perfect. So let me know about that. Hold on. Okay, yeah. So the answer is 400 milligrams. Good catch. What other answers we got in here? 500 milligrams. Fallon's Fox, less than 400. 300 milligrams. 300 grams. Oh my gosh. Jeez. What am I trying to do here? 300 grams? Hope he meant, oh no, you know what? M and that dot are there. No. Okay, so what's with this? Yeah, 400 milligrams, and this isn't just me talking from experience. This is always what worked best for me. And then I come on, like, the government of Canada actually says do not exceed dosages of 400 milligrams. There's some context, which goes to show maybe you guys should listen to a thing or two of what I say, because my instincts are right. So 400 milligrams, that's my sweet spot. What that looks like is usually 300 milligrams early in the morning pre-workout, and then 100 milligrams later on in the day. If I really want to have a good workout, maybe it's a longer workout, I'll have 400 milligrams right in the morning. Be mindful of your caffeine intake. As much as I love coffee, with coffee, often you don't know how much caffeine you're consuming. People are having coffee at home. They're also having coffee from McDonald's, from Starbucks, from Tim Hortons here in Canada. So you don't know how much caffeine you're taking. Of course, the good news is if you have a consistent vendor in which you purchase your coffee from, you can look, and they all will tell you how much caffeine is contained in their coffee. Like McDonald's says it, they have their ingredients. But what you should know is that coffee contains more than caffeine. There are some good properties with it. There's also some good stimulants. There's some good stuff when it comes to anti-aging. Yet when you go higher, it can cause diabetes. It can cause you to have really bad energy levels. Surprisingly, it works like kind of inversely like that. So be really careful. I think the goal with nootropics is to minimize your stimulant intake. And for those of you who just hopped on, what we're talking about is how much caffeine you should be taking. So ASFGH123, send an email to sophia@mdougal.com. That's spelled Sam, October, Peter, Henry, Igloo, Apple at M like Michael, and then my last name.com. And we'll get you out a $200 gift card of what you like. And Founds Fox, I'm going to get back to your question, but what I want to do is go back 20 minutes before, because I don't want to leave that guy behind. Where were we? Next question. L-theanine right before bed. Yep, 100%. L-theanine gives me anxiety. That's interesting. You don't hear that too often. Thanks for sharing, though. Give me, yeah, guys, we're all experiencing the same challenge. Everyone's asking me, Michael, where do I get the racetams? It's like the most common question. And please don't do that. Mike, did you watch The Northman? No, I did not. Alpha GPC is definitely kick-ass. I'm #1 at my warehouse job because of it. Good stuff. And you'll find that with Alpha GPC, there is a sort of physical benefit along with it too. So that's something I like about it. Nootropic blends have started to have both ingredients as far as not only Alpha GPC, but Cognizin too. So people seem to like that. Would you recommend any nootropics to partner with? Yes, I'm going to get, okay, you know what? Thanks for actually not spelling this last word correctly, because now I won't get red flag, I think. With Ritalin, here's the thing, it's subtle, but they should experience some sort of energy crash, brain fog. If that's the case, then the best thing they can do is take L-tyrosine and a lot of water during that time when they're feeling a crash. Otherwise, it's unlikely they're going to notice much from it, unfortunately. Are you still using any peptides? I am not. The closest thing I'm using to anything other than nootropics is I'm taking a spray of bromontane. Not too often. I'll take a few sprays of it during the week. Is it helpful? Probably not. I have not noticed anything from it. Again, a company sent that out to me. So that's bromontane. And I apologize. A lot of you have requested a video on that. I haven't shot a video on it. Some people tell me, Michael, why haven't you shot this video? Do a review. It says, I tried it. It didn't do anything for me. What am I going to say? How do I fill up a 10-minute video, then say it's not great, but this is what the research shows? People like my videos because it's mostly experiential, right? Noopep 30 milligram never works. Consider taking it under your tongue. Might work a little bit better for you. And you need to have some sort of objective way to measure whether or not Noopep is working. Because I'm in sales, it's a 100% commission-based job. I'm very mindful of okay, I'm taking this nootropic. How are my results? How am I being consistent? I count how many conversations I have each day. I count how many hours I'm on the phones. I have 3 or 4 activities which are responsible for making the majority of my income, and the rest of the activities I delegate. I don't spend my time there. So Noopep allows me to stay focused on those high-paying activities, and that's what I like about it for sure. What else we got? Bromontane. Hope that answered it. Rob, don't have an answer for that, so sorry about that. Answering repetitively won't allow me to answer you. Best practices to improve verbal fluency. I'm going to release this live stream afterwards, so refer back to that. Actually, my assistant will put timestamps addressing the different questions that I elaborated on, but still watch through the whole thing because there won't be timestamps for everything. Otherwise, it will just fill up the whole description. YouTube descriptions, they have a cap too. Just got into nootropics and I'm hooked. Yes. I always thought they were snake oil, but I've been taking Quality Mind Essentials and GABA, and I feel so damn good throughout the day now. Very cool. GABA is something people often use for sleep. It's in a lot of sleep blends. Does it help? Maybe 20 to 30%. Nothing which makes it a game changer, but good thing is side effect free. Planet Earth, I don't know the answer to that. I apologize. Did you get acetylcholine down regulation after taking alpha GPC? What do you recommend for test prep? I did not get any down regulation to my knowledge, and test prep addressed that earlier. Will you ever sell your own nootropic stack? Perhaps if enough people want it, but I think the nootropic blends out there are good enough, and I don't see any reason I would modify it. Maybe I would sprinkle in the racetams because they're good, but then we're dealing with more complex issues like what countries actually allow it. So I think for now, just let me know if you need help building your own stack. That's what the Patreon page is for. Instagram, you can send me a message. I will get to it eventually, just not with as much priority as the Patreon. And of course, we're on the Discord server. Let me know if you guys came here from the Discord. The Discord is like a cool thing. We're talking about all kinds of things, talking about hair loss and finasteride and just whatever you want to talk about, whatever's top of mind. Hey, thanks, Mike. Neil from London. Are any of these dangerous to take while fasted? Inositol, no. D3, no. Rhodiola, no. Milk thistle, no. L-glutamine. Just note that with L-glutamine, it's taking you out of a fasted state. It has calories, so no. B-complex, no. Magnesium, fish oil, kind of yes. What does B-complex help with, please? Mostly known to focus on energy levels. Fish oil is the one that I would be careful with taking with fasted. I have found myself, and not only myself, with others, you may feel a little bit lightheaded, similar to taking alpha lipoic acid. Just watch out for that, and watch out for many of the supplements out there that are designed or have the intended use of stabilizing like your blood sugar, especially people with diabetes. A lot of these supplements aren't to be taken fasted. They're in a fashion that you would take with a meal, or you would take it and then have your meal 10 minutes afterwards. Like green tea extract being another one, good for fat loss, but I wouldn't take it in a fasted state. You feel horribly lightheaded and you feel irritable. What supplements do you suggest to reduce estrogen for men? I would think the same things you would use to lower cortisol levels. So ashwagandha, phosphatidylserine. I think most people don't have an issue for this. I'll look more into this. That's a great question, actually. What is lion's mane mostly used for? Okay, good. We addressed this a little bit earlier. I'm 53, living in the UK. What is up, James? That's super cool, because I think only maybe like 10 to 15% of our viewers are 50 plus, the majority of them being 25 to 35, and maybe 20% of them are under 25. Pretty cool. I'm 53, living in the UK, looking for an alternative to coffee. Is theacrine worth the effort for me to get some scent here from the US? Is it really any good? Probably not. Most people find that with theacrine, they purchase it once, they don't purchase it again, because it doesn't have the same stimulation properties that you would often get with caffeine. Caffeine, you get the physical energy boost, you get like this really nice euphoria. With theacrine, it's subtle. One thing good though is it doesn't often come with the same amount of anxiety, which makes it good that way. Nothing wrong with giving it a shot. However, a good reason a lot of people don't stick to theacrine isn't because it doesn't work well, it's because it's pretty pricey. So if you have the budget for it, nothing wrong with it. I think it's good. Any thoughts on keto? Yeah, I actually tried keto before it was like trending and popular, I think. Anyway, this was 2012, and I used it for 5 months. That was back when I was in a pretty like depressed state, you can say low state. And when you're in that state, like you just want to try anything. Fasting, intermittent fasting. Keto works really well for your mood. I mean, if I wasn't somebody who loved to exercise, I might be on keto. Just as far as the downsides of keto, there's no research showing that it looks safe long term. A lot of people have issues with their cholesterol, so they haven't really found like a good resolution to that. And otherwise, for performance, people function best when it comes to like very strenuous activities when they have carbohydrates. You can use it more efficiently for fuel. With keto, not so much. It's kind of like a slow burn, slow energy. But what I like about keto is the clarity of mind. Of course, it blunts your appetite and you are in such a great mood. But really with keto, it doesn't allow you to be social. Like you can't really go out because carbs are found everywhere. You go to a place to eat, buy some chicken, there's going to be carbs, trace carbs. It's in the sauce. So unless you have friends that are all keto advocates, then stick to it. But definitely worth trying, because once I was on keto back in 2022, I just felt like I had a much deeper understanding of nutrition, of calories, of macros and micros. It's good. You have some fun. What's your current stack? Bit too long to go through here, but it's on my Patreon. So that's only like $3. Thoughts on theobromine? Good for anti-aging. It's a good antioxidant. Might be good for your memory. Very subtle effects, kind of like ginkgo biloba. Appreciate you too. Balance Fox is funny. Yes, Neil, you can do it for the Patreon, the 125. I would actually prefer that you don't, though. I'm not being able to dedicate too much time towards those these days. Best nootropic to focus on priorities. Noopept is great. Alpha GPC is great. If you're somebody who just has a issue with that, let's say at specific portions of the day, maybe you're more focused in the morning and then less focused in the afternoon, really consider taking rhodiola rosea. just right when you need, like right prior to that portion, that time when you're time blocking and need to stay focused. It's a good one. Like 300 to 500 milligrams is how it's typically sold. It's good stuff. What pre-workout do you take right now? I took Outlift by Nootropics. That's a really great one. Another really good one. It's by a company called German Pharma. I think it's a small company. I think they're in the US. They sent me out a product. It's really good stuff. German Pharma. They also have some good testosterone boosting supplements. They've got ashwagandha. They've got Tonkat Ali. So that German Pharma, I've been meaning to go buy it again because they put some unique things there. They got 500 milligrams of alpha GPC, and they also have pink Himalayan salt and some good stuff. So I appreciate that one. What I would look for in a pre-workout: L-tyrosine, a good amount of caffeine, beta-alanine, citrulline malate, perhaps a little bit of taurine, but make sure you get the caffeine and the tyrosine dosage right. And then everything else is really with recovery and with pumps. And I always was wondering, okay, skip that. Why does 5-HTP give me and others mad anxiety? Consider taking less than what you're probably taking. With 5-HTP, a lot of people just, they're misinformed. I think a good dose of 5-HTP is 50 milligrams. It's not 100 to 200 milligrams. And you can consider taking it alongside with tyrosine because 5-HTP works on serotonin. L-tyrosine works on dopamine. So there is something to be said about them having some sort of a correlation and wanting to have them together. What is the best supplement you found for reducing anxiety? Mine is inositol. Wow, inositol is getting that much attention. I like lion's mane the most, I'd say. But yeah, lion's mane definitely the most. Oh my gosh, it feels so much calmer. It's great. It's when I don't have my lion's mane and I run out of it, it's like it's an emergency. I sit behind a screen 9 hours a day with countless emails. Oh my goodness. I hope you have like blue light glasses or something that gets you to stay focused. And countless emails and data entry. Which racetam do you recommend? The pramiracetam would probably be the best one. Aside from that, oxiracetam could be good because not only will it help you through the repetitive tasks, but it's a nice energy boost. It will give you like a good alert feeling as well, being somewhat of a stimulant. What's your opinion on the magnesium L-Threonate, to boosting brain power? Love it, love it, love it, love it. It's a great nootropic for energy levels, for stress management, for sleep. This is one of the rare nootropics that you can actually take with the intended benefit of having better energy and sleeping. Like, you know, it does both, which basically means it makes you healthier. But the reason why it's kind of slept on is the fact that it's still so expensive and no company has been able to solve that problem so far. But this is still like a newer supplement out there within the past few years. There's only one study that people keep on referring back to as far as its effects. So as it gets more known out there, I'm sure they'll find some sort of resolution for that. What do you recommend to get motivated to work out? A pre-workout, 100%. Without my pre-workout, oh my gosh, I wouldn't want to work out at all. It's the caffeine that's doing everything. The other day I woke up, I didn't feel that great energy, but I still had a productive day. And it's just like the answer and the problem and how I solved that was through ingesting a lot of caffeine. Unfortunately, I still have these challenges. How to achieve peak time with modafinil? I want to answer this question. I like this question. I would like to know more about what you mean when you say peak time. What do you recommend to begin organizing my day? Get the 5-minute journal, the 5-minute journal. Tim Ferriss recommends it in his book, The 4-Hour Workweek. I absolutely love it. And I would structure your day to have a morning mindset exercise. And that morning mindset exercise or exercises, you're doing it every morning. There is no days off. You need to build the muscles. So for me, what that looks like is I do my 5-minute journal. I write down my 10-10. So my 10 things I'm grateful for, my 10 intentions for the day. What else do? I say affirmations. I scream my affirmations because you got to put some passion and some emotion behind them. Otherwise, I do a quick prayer. I do a short meditation and I do a short visualization. And like that is a must. Always, you need to just do it every single day, just like a shower, do it every single day. So once you do that, you've got your clear mind, you feel courageous, you feel like you can conquer, and then always just focus on the few activities like your corner store, like really important activities that if you accomplish those, you're going to finish the day feeling very fulfilled and very accomplished, and leave your to-do list to the later portion of the day when you have less willpower. Do not overestimate how much willpower you have. And most people, like, they're just going to have more in the first half of the day. And that's how it is. And get some accountability. Get accountability partners, accountability friends. Let people know about your goals and stay positive. You got this. What I would appreciate if you know the answer to the prior question. What do you think about phosphatidylserine? it has a very good intended use for reducing cortisol levels. So if you're not sleeping as much as you should, and you need to still have a good memory, because when you notice if you're not getting enough sleep, the number one thing you notice is like your short-term memory, it's just not there. You have these things top of mind, and then you don't have them top of mind anymore. So phosphatidylserine I found really helped to solve that problem. When I first started selling houses, I had to as well finish my degree. I did a business degree, and I was sleeping like 4 to 5 hours a day. And what worked for me, was taking Modafinil and using phosphatidylserine very strategically. I was still able to learn, still able to retain things very well. Struggling with indecision, brain fog, what should I take? We mentioned Sustantia earlier. I would look into the racetams. They really help with focus. And L-tyrosine is great for brain fog. Very often people have brain fog because they haven't gotten their diet right. So be a bit strategic with your diet. Try different diets. Try different carbohydrate intakes. If you're used to taking eating high carb, go medium carb, go low carb. I like to live by this quote, like, you need to earn your carbs. So the more active you are, the more carbs you can get away with eating, because really that's what they do. Carbs, they make you a bit tired. They make you have a little bit of a brain fog. And guys, we're getting into our third question for our $200 giveaway. Let's go. And that question is, I think this one's a little bit easy. And just on a side note, if one of the previous winners gets this answer right, I have no choice but to gift the award to the person who gives the answer the second time. Okay, so the question is, what is a nootropic that has remained in my top 5 nootropics from the time that I had started this channel? Oh, where'd I put my water? Make sure to hydrate, especially now that we're in the summertime. All right. We already got our answer. There's only 3 answers in. Okay, and now more people are sharing that answer. What else we got in here? Qualiamine, Noopep, Lion's Mane, Noopep, L-tyrosine, not in my top 5 anymore. Alpha GPC, cool. Phenylpracetam, cool. Good answers. Yeah, good answers. Lion's Mane, no, there was a point when Lion's Mane was actually not in my top 5, if you remember that. So Fallon's Fox, I'm glad you won this award. It's funny because I was going to give Fallon's Fox an award either way. He was going to get a special shout out for being not only my most active participant, but as far as how much he's contributed to other people. There was a time when I was like to Fallon's Fox, I actually offered him money, and I'm like, hey, can you help me help just to manage this channel? Maybe help me along with some of the comments. And he's, he respectfully just said no, and he's helping people either way. If people comment asking questions, he says refer to Michael's video, and he mentioned this. So Fallon's Fox, not only do I appreciate you, we appreciate you. The 50,000 subscribers would probably have not been possible without you, or you just helped to reach this goal easier because you, like people like you really keep me going. You keep me inspired. Like guys, like this YouTube thing, this not to brag, but this pays like a fraction of what my day job does. Like selling homes, being in the industry of real estate, it's like the highest paying field. There's more millionaires in this field of real estate than any other field. That's just the way it is. So this Nootropic channel is just my experience, me sharing what I know, me creating this community because it's not out there. And Fallon's Fox, you've done a great job just to support that, keeping me inspired, keeping me encouraged. And yeah, we appreciate you. Shout out to Mr. Fallon's Fox. So Fallon's Fox, like I mentioned, email sophia@mdougal.com. I mentioned the email address earlier today because with YouTube, there's no way to direct message people. That's how YouTube is. It's like the most anonymous thing. If you want, you can create a new email address because it's cool that you stay anonymous. I like it. FallonsFox@gmail if it's out there. And we'll finish off with some of these questions. What else, guys? Let's get some questions here. Big congrats to Mr. Fallon's Fox. Okay, where were we? L-citrulline is awesome. It is awesome. Yeah, just with L-citrulline, we mentioned water intake. Like drink more water when you're taking citrulline malate. Don't make the mistake of getting dehydrated because you will feel a little bit fatigued when you're taking it otherwise. And the same thing can be said with creatine. Mercurinaprurines made me yawn a lot. Mercurinaprurine, I have no idea what it's good for. I'd like to learn more from you all. If you all use it, then what is it good for? Because supposedly it can help with motivation in more of a long-term fashion than L-tyrosine. L-tyrosine helps with dopamine. Same thing with mucuna, but L-tyrosine, you can notice it working. I mean, you ingest it, you can feel the results in 30 to 60 minutes. Mucuna pruriens, it's in qualia mind, also known as L-dopa. It supposedly can help you with motivation throughout the course of the day, but doesn't really do all that, or not for me anyway. Should children take nootropics? Nope, I do not believe so. Mike, nootropics really help me get through moving places. Absolutely, me as well. And sometimes it's just the placebo effect. Like I don't mind it. Whatever works. And staying hopeful. 5-HTP made me emotionally depressed. I started taking it at bedtime instead, so I get the benefits with no negative mood effects. And the same thing can be said with ashwagandha. With bacopa, if you feel demotivated after ingesting them, then why not consider taking them once you're finished your workday, before you sleep? It's not like it matters if you're demotivated anyway. I mean, at that point, I would rather be demotivated just so I can wind down and take my attention off of the productive tasks out there. Curious, what temperature do you keep your room? Colder when I sleep, but 21 to 22 degrees, like nothing. Yeah, no insight really I could share with you, but I am a believer like cold is better than hot. Always. Cold makes you alert, makes you strong. I have taken freezing cold showers before it became popular. Like I've been doing freezing cold showers since 2015. I've probably done warm showers maybe like 10 times since then. And I take showers at least once a day. Like this year, for example, I took warm showers maybe like 3 times. So cold, always better than warm. Love it. It is a little bit overrated. I think cold showers, they don't improve testosterone, or not from my experience. They don't really help you with muscle recovery or with making strong bones. Or ice baths. I've tried ice baths maybe 5 to 10 times. Didn't really do too much for me. Hope that's helpful. I think pre-workout is addictive. I use everything daily when I use. Is that bad? Not sure what you mean there, Nicholas. Wow, we got a lot of comments here on 5-HTP. Once took 5-HTP and felt a strange euphoria briefly after some yeah, it's super cool with serotonin. Like it will, I mean, with 5-HTP, you will feel instantly in a good mood, which is the good thing, but is also the bad thing. A lot of people use 5-HTP as like a bandage for their problems, in the sense of they'll use, if they're in a bad mood, let's say something bad happens, car accident, bad thing at work, client fires you, they're taking 5-HTP because it's making them feel good. Like when you ingest 5-HTP, you can't think of anything bad. It's just impossible. Like no negative thoughts are top of mind or come to mind. So it's cool that way. But at the same time, that stops you from building the emotional intelligence, the resilience, the mindset skills to get yourself back and have that bounce back time and go after your goals and just get over things. So it's a good thing. It's a good thing, but it's also a bad thing. Don't depend on it. Do you believe taking nootropics primarily for brain-enhancing effects will, over the long term, increase your baseline general intelligence? I think so, but not in the way you would think. I think in a very indirect way, because if you're ingesting nootropics, you're consuming them, then you're going to be more likely to be ambitious, to learn in a more faster fashion, to solve complex problems. And simply by you doing that over the course of time, you're taking in more knowledge, you're taking more action, you're trying different fields of work, you're more curious about things. So you're learning more. And then long term, let's say you get off of your nootropics, who are we to say that you would be the same person you are if you didn't take your nootropics back then? Let me know if that makes sense. But that's my rationalization behind taking a lot of nootropics. And I've been using nootropics like over 10 years. Guys, I'm still alive. I don't know if they have negative side effects. I won't know that, but clearly I've taken that risk. And I think side effects are horribly just over exaggerated. And in a lot of cases, it's just live and watch my videos with that general rule of the stronger something is, the stronger the side effects often are. I was wondering if Total Mind is a good nootropic. Not sure. Lion's Mane. Mike, did you hate accounting in college? I actually didn't hate it. I thought it was interesting because it was such a it's such a good life skill in the sense of running a business. You help to understand a business. And we had it in high school. Like I couldn't believe it was free. So if you're somebody elder, even in your 40s and 50s, go back and take an accounting course. You'll learn a thing or two. The same thing could be said about taxes. Like, when you look at like a balance sheet, left side equals right side, knowing what an asset is. I speak to people in their 30s and like they cannot define asset or liability. Just blows my mind. So good skill. Video lagging, I saw answers. Yeah, sorry about that, Radfo. Technology is technology. I apologize. I mean, it takes 3 to 4 hours to achieve peak time with our modafinil. What is this best to do? that is actually really working. So yeah, if you know that our modafinil is going to take 3 to 4 hours to reach its state when it's kind of most potent and you can feel it working, then things you can do earlier than that is you can ingest your caffeine, you can ingest your L-tyrosine. It's probably the energy benefit that you're looking for. I would always avoid stimulants during the first half hour of the day. So for me, in my morning routine, it looks like I wake up, I do my morning mindset exercises, and then half an hour later, that's when I ingest my caffeine or my pre-workout. Because what happens is if you take caffeine too early in the day, then what happens is you actually blunt the natural cortisol spike you get. So what happens is when you wake up, your cortisol level shoots up, but in a good way. It's like kind of responsible for you having energy throughout the course of the day. But if you take caffeine, it kind of suppresses that and you don't get that natural benefit. And then you need stimulants throughout the day in order for you to like maintain a good level of energy. So keep that in mind. Best nootropic for social anxiety, except aniracetam and phenibut. Lion's mane being very good because you're going to look at a social situation and you're going to encounter it from a perspective of this is going to be good for me long term. I need to be socialized. Even if it's not about building a connection with this person, I can pay attention. I can say something. If they responded well to it, I can say that again to somebody else. If they didn't respond well, then I can adjust the words, adjust the tonality in the future. So you need to be just having a lot of conversations. I've counted my contacts just from sales calls. Like I've made over 10,000 calls. You have to start somewhere. But if you make 30 contacts a day, 30 conversations a day with any prospective clients, you're going to learn from that, right? You are the best, Michael. Thank you so much. I think you're the best too. And it's nice to see some new people up in here. What would you rate Alcar as a cognition nootropic? I'll answer, but note that my opinion on this has changed a lot. So I am using Alcar right now pre-workout. It's not that it's that great, but it's also not too expensive. Plus there's no real bad side effects for my case anyway. So I would say 5 out of 10. It's okay. You won't notice much from it. And it's very different, I think, than L-carnitine. People mention L-carnitine for fat loss. That's how it's known. Like L-carnitine for fat loss, Alcar more with the nootropic properties as far as utilizing fat for fuel. So transporting fat to the mitochondria to be used for fuel rather than carbohydrates. So what nootropic would you recommend? I'm 30 and I'm trying to become more strategic focused and motivated on my business. Like I mentioned, the pre-workout's going to be key for you, especially if you're an entrepreneur, you're self-employed. Take that take that in the morning, get your workout in. Throughout the course of the day, I would just stay shy of any nootropics that will demotivate you. So ashwagandha, L-theanine, bacopa, these are 3 real bad ones or known ones. And you want to look at the racetams because they're going to be really responsible for increasing your ambition and increasing your drive, allowing you to focus on those like keystone activities. And Noopep really helped me out. It's the one nootropic I'm still with, I've still been using. And even when I was taking very high doses of Noopept and I stopped taking it, sure, I felt like a little bit of brain fog. Maybe my recall and my processing speed wasn't like optimal, but it didn't hurt me too much. Video on nootropics for socializing, that is to come. That 100%. Directly told me to stick around. Absolutely. You should take breaks from pre-workouts sometimes. Yeah, I to some extent agree with that. I think caffeine, when it comes to caffeine tolerance and stimulant intake, go with how you feel. Some people really need to take breaks from them because they notice that they are building a little bit of a tolerance as they're taking 200 to 300 milligrams of caffeine a day. But some people, they don't build a tolerance to it, and that's okay. Like for me, I'm one of those people. Fortunately, 50 to 100 milligrams of caffeine, like it gets me pretty wired. I'm energetic. I'd want to go for a run. Interesting stuff. What's your dosage of 5-HTP and L-tyrosine together? I've covered this in a video. I don't actually recall this because I'm personally not somebody who's tried this or think it's necessary. It's more so like if you're somebody who is trying to use 5-HTP and L-tyrosine to treat depression. So very different intended use in terms of like using these long term. Whereas the way that I would use L-tyrosine is really to increase my energy levels, help me with fat loss, maybe suppress my appetite. And the way I would personally use 5-HTP is just with sleep. That's what it's known for. It increases serotonin levels and helps you go to sleep. And guys, don't mind giving this a like, giving this a thumbs up. What's Dave Asprey said his brain's baseline went up close to modafinil. Dave Asprey says a lot of things. He's good. I like the fact that he raises people's awareness to nootropics, to biohacking, to just being more mindful of your health. So he's good, but I wouldn't really believe everything he says. What would you recommend to a 20-year-old that wants to be more ambitious? Refer to my earlier question. And think I'm not, did I skip anything? I get reduced. I think I'm not 100% sure. I get reduced libido with lion's mane. Do you think taking maca or something with it will help? There's a good chance. I made a video covering different supplements and I rated them on a scale of 1 to 10 as far as how significantly they affected your testosterone levels. Some of my personal favorites would be Tonkat Ali. Gotta love Tonkat Ali. And Tribulus being a close second. Tonkat Ali, you can really notice the results from taking it. You'll like be able to bust through plateaus. You'll be in a little bit of a better mood. It may help your sleep and your sleep quality. Just with Tonkat Ali, make sure you understand how to take it and do not take it in a fasted state. 200 milligrams is what works for me. Nootropics for ADHD, some of my favorites being rhodiola rosea. L-tyrosine is also great. Subroxy is something you may want to look into. And the strategic use of caffeine, don't take too high of a dose of caffeine. Like if we take that example of 400 milligrams, you're going to be best spreading it throughout the course of the day. This has been proven. There is research backing this that if the goal is cognition, if the goal is processing speed, memory, staying focused, being productive, you're going to benefit more just having small amounts of caffeine throughout the course of the day versus having it all at once. Plus, you won't have a big energy slump. And that's one reason why I'm somebody who prefers like taking caffeine pills versus coffee. Really appreciate your work. I appreciate you. And yeah, the way to become more articulate. I was just talking to this with one of my mentors. Like, how do you become more articulate? Because I look at articulate people like Jordan Peterson, like he's a god. And how do you become that way? It's not through reading. It's not through writing. It's by really surrounding yourself with articulate people and putting yourself in challenging situations. Like how to become a good talker, like talk to a lot of people, just get used to it. Make a lot of conversations, start small, have a goal every single day to get into one uncomfortable conversation. Confrontation is hard for people. Get used to confronting people, speak from your heart, and know that it's coming from a good place, that you're just looking for people to help and be the best version of yourself. It doesn't hurt. I mean, it doesn't help anyone if you don't confront them, if you absolutely feel like you need to. And just here for the giveaway. I have to watch the time. I really apologize. The giveaway's already happened, but I'm answering some questions over here. So hopefully that is a prize in of itself. I'm looking at taking lion's mane. Do you still recommend 8-to-1? I still do recommend it, yet I have learned that the 1-to-1 can be better when it comes to general health. If you're looking for those advantages, but when it comes to the 8-to-1, the best for cognition, for memory, for mood stability, it's good stuff. What do you recommend for chronic procrastination? So because I did answer this earlier, I'll give you a little bit of a different answer, but look at the nootropics that you're currently taking and consider taking some nootropics that will calm you down a little bit, like ashwagandha. Some people find that it makes them more centered, and I would much rather prefer taking the version, the KSM 66 or the actual root, because the other ones like Shodan specifically, and well, I can't remember the name of the other one. They're going to be more likely to demotivate you. Can you make a video on what you have learned on how to socialize and get rid of that anxiety? Well, probably not on this channel, because this channel is like nootropics, and that's what people are pretty much here for, right? When do you take phosphatidylserine? I would use it at the later portion of the day. Very often you'll find it you'll find it now in these little gel caps. So they have some fat with it to help enhance absorption and increase absorption, make you get the most out of your phosphatidyl experience. So when I'm personally using it now is, let's say it's late at night, I still need to do a little bit of work. I really like taking L-tyrosine and phosphatidylserine together. It seems to just wipe away that irritability, wipe away that stress. I mean, I'm sure everyone can relate to that. Let's say it's the end of the day, you're hungry, you know, you wanna just dismiss all your work, but you know that if you get 1 hour of work done, then it will be really good for you there afterwards. That's a good time when I would use L-tyrosine and phosphatidylserine. Some good stuff. Hey, Mike, what was the email address? Sophia, Sam, October, Peter, Henry, Igloo, Apple at M like Michael, then Dougal.com. So Sophia at mdougal.com. What has helped you with meditation and prayer? Committing to it. When I first got into meditation, one of my coaches, when it came to selling homes back in 2014, he taught me it. He kind of forced me to do it 10 minutes a day. I didn't enjoy it. I just wanted to learn how to sell more homes, how to improve my scripting, how to improve my skills at presenting myself and structuring when it comes to finding leads. But I was forced into it. But then when I think when I really wanted to learn it, and you can't ignore meditation. It's everywhere. You look up every self-help book, there's like a dedicated chapter on why you should meditate. So 2018, I committed to doing it 1 hour a day. I did it 1 hour every single day, no exceptions, even when I was on a trip. And that's what really sold me on the benefits. Arnold Schwarzenegger, it's Arnold. He has a quote: if you meditate for a year, you can reap the benefits throughout the rest of your life. Because when you become trained at being in that space, when you're very calm, you're present, you don't have any thoughts, you can easily just tap into it with a 5 to 10 minute meditation. So that helped me committing to it. If you're able to just have that intrinsic desire, then you don't need an accountability partner, but look for an accountability partner. Hey, message me. I love accountability. I love the results. And with respect to prayer, just kind of trusting the process really helps. It's always good. Even just look up studies. People who attend church, they live longer. Pretty crazy stuff. So just believing in that process, know that there's more to life than just being on the logic left-hand side of your brain. Can you rate Magnesim for cognition 1 to 10? I would say 7 out of 10. If not, then an 8. It wouldn't be a 6. Mike, good coffees. Fresh Cap makes some pretty good coffees. I really like Fresh Cap. They've got a few different blends. They got the Focus blend. They also have the blend called Unwind. I tried the Force. I think it's Four Sigmatic. Didn't like it too much, but the Focus blend by Fresh Cap, I don't have I may have a discount code lingering out there somewhere, but just unbiased, it's some really good stuff. They sent it to me once. I would buy it again. I still have it, but I'm not using it too much just because I prefer having white teeth and being more, and just using caffeine pills. I take Wellbutrin. I got to skip that one because YouTube has rules. Would you still recommend MindLab Pro as a go-to nootropic? Yeah, I'm at all not against nootropic blends. I think nootropic blends are great in the sense of for people who they don't know much about nootropics and they want to see what nootropics can do for them, rather than taking the time to study different ingredients, find out what could work, what couldn't work, look up the dosage. Definitely just get a nootropic blend. It keeps things simple. They've already done the work in finding what are the ingredients people are most likely to respond well to. So MindLab Pro is a good one. Quality of Mind would be the best one. It's a little bit on the pricey side. And how often do I live stream? Not enough. It used to be once a week, but since my editor kept on telling me to get a camera and get a good mic, I've not been so consistent, but my goal can be once a month. One goal, some goal is better than nothing. Does lion's mane lower your testosterone, or is it just libido in a different way? For when it comes to, okay, let's look at the really bad side effects would be hair loss and libido / testosterone. How often these happen? It's not even 20% of people. It's maybe 10%. Just notice with side effects, they're the things people are going to talk about. There's going to be a lot of conversation on Reddit about side effects. People are less likely to talk about an experience with a nootropic if they're getting good results, right? Have you read Tony Robbins' Life Force? I actually have it. It was gifted to me. I've gone through 40 pages of it. I'm currently reading the 12-week year, and I'm rereading Psycho-Cybernetics, which is a good mindset book. It's good. Have you taken a genetic test before? Nope, I have not. When should you take Subroxy? I don't really think it matters. It's supposed to be good for focus, for ADHD. Seems to be good that way. I wasn't overly impressed with it. It's like a 5 out of 10, kind of unnecessary to take. It's one of those nootropics that maybe will be talked about for a couple of years, but then afterwards, everyone is going to forget it. Kind of like taking HMB. Thoughts about good supplements for brain fog and histamine intolerance. Like I mentioned, L-tyrosine is going to be a really good one. Can't think of anything else. Other than caffeine, what pairs well with it? Noopep would be a pretty solid one in that case, Piracetam and alpha GPC too. And I say Piracetam and alpha GPC because Piracetam almost needs to be taken with alpha GPC. Do not take Piracetam without a choline source. You're probably wasting your money and you're setting yourself up to have brain fog and be in a pretty bad mood. Has your opinion changed at all on fermented ginseng, or have you tried Panamax? Yeah, I like Panamax. I get some sort of awkward stimulation from the leaf extract, so I don't like that. But I like the modified version of ginseng. I think it's the GS514, some number like that. I made a video on that. That one's pretty good for energy levels and for making you feel kind of like your normal self, because that's the goal. If you're looking for something to improve your energy levels, you don't want to take something which would sacrifice your social skills or make you a little bit more anxious. And what I noticed with most forms of ginseng was I feel a little bit uncomfortable at the same time energetic. So I think rather than taking Panamax or taking ginseng, use Rhodiola rosea or consider taking them both. Any new nootropics for a 57-year-old janitor alcoholic that does not have any motivation, has not been effective? in a few years. Yes, I made a video. I think it's 3 nootropics to live life fearlessly. Definitely watch that. There's a good emphasis on phenylpiracetam because of what it does for you for energy levels, and caffeine and L-theanine. Better yet, consider caffeine and L-tyrosine. That would just, I mean, for you, you just need to get in a good workout routine. Yeah, guys, if you haven't committed to a good workout routine, like, give it a chance. It's life changing. Oh, change your life. It changed my life 100%. Nootropics to get rid of an irritable state. It's probably your diet. When you're very irritable, consider the fact that you probably haven't eaten for a while. Better yet, you probably had a meal which was high carbohydrate, low in fat. So switch that up, have a high fat meal, and otherwise drink a lot of water. Lion's mane is going to be a good one, and phosphatidylserine is one that I really enjoy personally. Did you end up cycling off and on tyrosine? No, I've been using tyrosine every single day for like probably 3 or 4 years straight. Maybe I skipped a few days. Bromantane discussed. What do you, any YouTuber collabs coming soon? Probably not. And guys, I think that's it. So I appreciate all of you. We're going to put some timestamps here at the description. And yeah, the 3 lucky winners will get $200 each worth of gift cards. So I'm looking out for your emails, and I really appreciate you all for following me throughout this journey. We're going to continue to add a lot of value, be here answering all your questions, and appreciate you all. I'll talk to you all soon. And don't be shy about sharing the channel. If you have that thought, like, I'm the only one who takes nootropics, my friends think I'm weird, like, just kill that thought, because they will join us sooner rather than later. Talk to y'all soon.